You've seen the title, we know why you're here. That's right. Bron Breakker is still the WWE sold to Saudi Arabia.
Well, that's the story according to multiple news outlets anyway, Tom. I'll run you through the way this story broke, but according to some outlets anyway. So it all kind of started off with a lot of prominent online wrestling journalists tweeting things like, gee whiz, you're not going to believe that there's big news, but we can't say what it might be or not. And to be fair, none of them said it's true. They were all waiting to clarify, because you can't just report something without believing that it's true and verifying it and everything. Then Slice Wrestling and a Redditor by the name of, I think, Kermit125, who's often seen as an insider on the Squared Circle board.
He's popped up quite a few times in these videos and on other news sites, as you say, a credible source.
Both he and Slice Wrestling were reporting that that WWE had indeed been sold. A deal had been agreed with Saudi Arabia. But then it was kind of still up in the air, but then more, I guess, regularly legitimate sources came along and clarified as well. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reported on it, as did, I can't remember his name. Is it written down here? It is Steve Muehlhausen of DAZN. So it's all been kind of a slowly creeping story. I should clarify as well, it's important to mention before we get into the meat of it, that there's quite a few prominent names that haven't yet confirmed that it's true or not. Sean Ross Sapp, Ryan Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, the latter two haven't said anything. Sean Ross Sapp has been quite clear to say on Twitter that he doesn't yet know whether this is confirmed or not.
Yeah, Sean Ross Sapp also posted to Fightful Select saying, we have nowhere near confirmed this at all, and plenty doesn't add up as of yet. People on the writing team and in production have not been informed of a sale. Zero talent that we've heard from have been told anything about a sale. There hasn't been any briefing of this whole situation. Not that stopped WWE making massive changes before, vis-a-vis Vince McMahon returning.
Right.
No talent we've spoken to have asked for their release, but there was at least one talent that told us they'd be done if it happened. That is in reaction to people, as you say, like Cassie Haynes of Bodyslam.net, who say that the Saudi Arabia deal isn't completely finalized because WWE must provide notice to shareholders and other parties. There are legalities to go through as the company is publicly traded. But again, I'm told a deal has been agreed in principle. This was also after yesterday, where it was reported they'd hired JP Morgan to come in and help sort of broker a deal.
Yes.
And no way does it happen that quick.
No, but around the same sort of time as Cassidy Haynes' initial report, Steve Muehlhausen also said WWE sources say WWE has been sold to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. The company will go back to being private. Unknown if Vince McMahon will return to head of creative, but it is expected by some people. So as we can see here, varying degrees of certainty, I think, regarding the story, depending on people's sources, I suppose, who they've heard it from. But one big point there that I just briefly touched upon was that it is expected that if the deal is true, or if the deal does go through, that WWE will be privatized once again. It became a publicly traded company in 1999, so it has been for just over 2 decades now, and will apparently, if this is true, go back to being private, which has various different ramifications, I suppose.
It does indeed. It certainly means that, those will come to light as we go through it. But in terms of the company they're selling to, so the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund is the company's estimated worth of $620 billion. One of the largest sovereign wealth funds.
And it's the sovereign wealth fund of the nation of Saudi Arabia, we should point out.
Yeah,
the name of it is the PIF, or the Public Investment Fund, but it is the sovereign kind of investment fund of Saudi Arabia itself.
They were created back in the 70s on behalf of the Saudi Arabian government. It's controlled by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who's the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia since 2015. This comes as WWE continue their 10-year business strategic partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This was a deal that was brokered in 2018, which saw them bringing pay-per-views and now premium live events to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Public Investment Fund, one of their big things over the past few years has been to move into sort of the Western sporting world.
Yes.
We saw that with LIV, the golf division.
The golf tour, the rival to the PGA Tour, which has been set up only last year, in 2021, I believe that was set up.
And star-powered as well. Like, they've got some massive names of the golf world to come and do it. But with the nature of the owners, that has led to problems as well, because numerous times it's been reported that despite the fact that this is a well-funded golf division, they can't secure a TV deal in America because of numerous natures. Of course, we are in Newcastle upon Tyne, where we're talking to today. The Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund are majority shareholders of Newcastle United.
Right, and I think that an important thing here to note is that they don't directly run Newcastle United. They've employed a team who understand football and how the business of football works to run Newcastle United, which could perhaps be a clue as to how this is going to work if indeed it is true.
Which would kind of explain the sudden urgency for Vince McMahon to come back. Like, he's somebody that has had...
Oh, he knows how to run.
Yeah, this is like, come back in, this is famously, when the first Saudi Arabia show happened, they said, we want Yokozuna for the show.
Yeah.
We want people that we know can do wrestling. So there's an argument to be made that the reason that Vince has so hurriedly come back is because this was the deal that they were always aiming towards, this particular one.
I think it's important as well to kind of take one step back and look at how this started, because it's easy to forget because it's all happened in one night. But this came in the aftermath of Stephanie McMahon officially announcing that she had stepped down, had resigned from WWE. And to see more on that, I believe Adam and Fraser did a video on this very channel where they go into the ins and outs of that and read from her public statement on the matter. But the fact that happened, and then hours later, these rumors have all cropped up, or these reports in some cases, seems quite telling.
It really does. I'd like to, I think, thank you to Fraser and to Adam, who are catching up on sleep after working through the night. I'd like to thank Night Nurse for me missing a breaking news story. I'm quite frankly livid. I pride myself on always being awake. It was the one time I wasn't.
You can't always be awake.
Furious.
You can't always. Not up to time, Turner.
And I'll tell you how much this has caught us off guard here. Later on today, a video on the channel was supposed to go out where I spent about 20 minutes breaking down all the people that could potentially buy WWE.
Had that not gone out yet?
It was going out tonight.
Oh, no.
Ironically, it was meant to go out yesterday, but we moved it to today. Bit of wrestling lost media for you. There's your next video, Andrew. That particular video. We'll know more about this as the day goes on. And I want to emphasize as well that whilst there's a real divide in terms of the reporting of this, because you've got guys like Steve Mulhausen of DAZN, Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam, who have had reputable calls in the past, are one saying that this is a deal agreed in principle, this is happening, whereas you've got quite a few other people, such as Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, who have said, I've not heard anything yet. So it's certainly one that we're going to keep a very close eye on across the day and as the week goes on as well. How do you see this sort of changing the shape of, if this deal goes through?
What a question!
It is a massive
It's hard
question
to tell, isn't it? This could be any number of things could happen. What I think is most immediately fascinating and perhaps a bit shocking is the way that Vince has re-seized control and done what he's done.
And the speed as well.
And the speed, especially when he is... And Stephanie's resignation statement was very, neutral and happy and nice in tone, but he's really undermined members of his own family here. And it's people always compare it to the TV show Succession. It is like something out of fiction. It's mad to see.
And it is stranger than fiction. Fact and real life always will be. WWE sold to Saudi Arabia, according to multiple reports. We'll keep you updated on it throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.